Here is how you set up Claude Code as a complete beginner with no experience in coding or development at all. Firstly, in this video, I'm going to explain why Claude Code is my preferred choice and not Claude Cowork. And also, if you watch to the end, you'll see how to avoid the mistakes that I made for 3 months where I tried to figure out Claude Code by myself and to make my agent smarter and smarter, but then it ended up being really dumb and stupid without any memory. So if you want to avoid chatting to Claude Code like ChatGPT, like a chatbot, and you want it to instead do things and be smart and act like an agent, then make sure you watch to the end. First, you need a subscription. For most of you, all you need is Pro, which is a subscription for about 17 USD. If you're paying for ChatGPT, then definitely make the switch because you get everything in ChatGPT, like the chatbot. Plus you get Claude Code and Claude Cowork, which is basically your harness that connects your whole computer, your whole browser, everything, all the mouse clicks and everything to your Claude Code agent. So that's why you should change from ChatGPT to Claude. Step 2, install Claude Code. So I will show you step by step from scratch how this all works. So this is a new computer here. So just type in Claude Code, click on this one. So Claude Code, overview docs, etc. And just want to go down all the way here. So I'm using Mac, obviously. So I want to use this one, okay? So copy. So once you copy that, you want to open your terminal. So how do you do that? Command space, open your Spotlight, and type in terminal, okay? And you click enter, and that's your terminal. Now this looks intimidating, okay? So your terminal is how your computer controls everything via text only, text commands. So instead of clicking and dragging things, it does it via text command, which is very powerful, and you feel like a hacker when you do it. So first of all, this basically shows you my name, and this shows what device I'm using, and all you need to know are maybe 2 or 3 things. So first of all, LS. LS shows you where you're at. So I'm basically in the file Daniel's Mac Mini. Right now, I'm in the file where I can see applications, documents, library, music, public, pictures, movies, downloads, desktop. So for example, this is the file I'm in. So this is, I guess, what we call the root file, which is where we start everything off. And you can see here, applications, documents, and if I press CD again, if I don't specify anything after CD, then it'll just bring me to the root directory. So now that we're in the root directory, so we're in this folder here, we're not in anywhere else, we're not in desktop or anything like that, we're in the root directory. So we want to Command V and paste in that command, which was right here. Okay, so let's paste that in. Actually, if this is too small for you, cool thing you can do is go Command plus, and you can make it bigger, and you can see everything going on here. Okay. Cool, let's press enter. So now it's installing Claude Code fresh. It had me worried for a bit because it didn't do anything for a while, but eventually, after like a minute or 2, it started putting some things in there. And that took about like 3 minutes, and it's done, it's installed, installation complete, as you can see here. Now that you can see it installed here, what you want to do is just see where it is. So I just want to show you just to Finder. So when we go to the root directory here, you don't see Claude Code here. Why is that? It's because it's a hidden file. For Mac, it is Command Shift period. All right, so that's all your hidden files. So here it is. Claude. Anything hidden is something with a dot in front of it. So you can see Claude is now installed here. If you want to see everything in the Claude file, you click on it, and that's all. It's got downloads, it's got cache, and backups. So really, there's not much in there. And you want to fill this with your memory folders, your Claude.md files, etc. And then that's how it keeps track of memories and also your agent folders, so you have different agents. So I'll guide you through that maybe in the next video, but for now we're just guiding you through the setup and the basic stuff first. Now what? We run it. So anytime from this is the terminal, so you can open new tabs, by the way, in terminals. Command T. Yes, Command T is the way you open new terminals. You see here, 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 here. These are all new terminals. So each terminal can run its own Claude Code session. And then you can open many terminals, and you can talk to Claude Code in many different sessions. So you can have 4, 5, 10 Claude Code sessions running at the same time, doing different tasks at the same time, like you're controlling an army of people if you want. All right, so let's do that later. Let's launch Claude Code. How do you do it? It's pretty simple. Typing CLAUDE, which is Claude. Press enter, and now Claude is loaded. I like dark mode. Claude Code can be used with subscription or build with the API usage. What you want to do is pay for the subscription. It's just way more cheap to do. You save a lot of tokens and a lot of money by doing so. Okay, so Claude account with subscription, enter. Now it brings you the open browser. So I'm going to show you what it showed me. So open this up. You want to log in with your Claude Code subscription that you subscribe to. I'm not going to show you how to subscribe. Everyone knows how to get a subscription. So you just log in, authorize, and it automatically detects that. So very easy. Press enter, enter, security, enter. Yes, I trust this folder. Allow, don't allow. The next thing to do is figure out which agent you're going to use. So Claude has 3 different things that it can use, models. How you give it commands through Claude is the slash command. So you type in slash like that, and you can choose which one you want to use. So you can use, and you don't have to type the whole thing. As soon as it pops up in the first one, then you can press enter, and you can see which one you're using. Now, so to shuffle between this, press the up and down arrows. Okay, so default recommended for me is Opus, because I have got a lot of tokens because I'm using Max. Opus is the smartest model. It does the most planning, it does the most thinking and deep thinking. And then there's Sonnet, which is really good actually. It's a nice balance between a lot cheaper and still very smart. And then Haiku, which is very fast, very cheap, but it sometimes is not that great. So it's more for execution of certain things, but it's not very good for thinking and planning. It's just there for execution to be a bit more fast. So there's a place for all 3 agents. It doesn't mean you don't need to use one or the other. For me, I'm going to use Sonnet here because most people are probably going to use Sonnet. Okay, so now I have Claude Code open. Let's try opening a new terminal. So try it yourself. So Command T. So that's basically like opening a new tab. Now Command T, you've got a new one there, and you're in this folder, which is your root directory, your Claude. Yeah. The reason why I showed you the whole CD and LS thing, you can open any file on your computer. If you just want to open on the root directory, then open here. But if you want to open on a specific project that Claude is working on, for example, all right, so let's say you've got your root directory here, and you've got desktop, you've got your test folder, and let's say you've got a new folder here saying my project. Let's say I want to work on this project on my desktop. So what I do is go CD, I want to see where I am first. So it's on desktop, so CD desktop. So now I'm in the desktop, press LS to show you what's in there. So you've got project, and then you've got test. Okay, so I want to go into project, CD project. So now I'm in the project folder, okay, which is on my desktop. Now if I want to launch Claude in this one, press yes, I trust this folder. Now you can see that I'm in the desktop project folder, okay? And this Claude Code session is open and reading all the files in here, which is nothing. All right. So really cool, huh? CD, LS, that's pretty much all you need to know. There's a few other things and tips and tricks, but they're just tips and tricks that makes things a little bit more convenient, but it's not essential knowledge. All right, so next I am going to try to move all these screenshots that I've just made, because it looks very messy, into a screenshot folder. Let's see whether it can do it. So notice I'm not even in the desktop folder, I'm just in the root directory, and it will still work if I want to clean up this desktop. Let's tell it to do exactly what we want. Hey man, can you clean up my desktop for me, please? It's a bit messy. Can you create a new folder called screenshots and put all screenshots into that folder? Thanks. Navigate it to desktop, and it says, I can see 3 screenshots on your desktop. I'll create a screenshots folder. And it asks you, do you have permission to do this? And I'm like, okay, yes. And then, oh, there's an error. What's going on? Oh yeah, so it created a folder called screenshots here. Can you see that? Okay. Yes, and don't ask again for MV. MV is the move command, so then it will move it. So MV, and it's moved. Done. Your desktop now has screenshots here. Claude Code can do this too, obviously, but there's so many more advantages of Claude Code over Claude Cowork in the future. So it can do all the basic stuff. If you really want to just use Claude Cowork, it's very easy to get used to. Just do Claude Cowork. But if you want to really get the most out of it, try to get used to Claude Code, because there's a lot of Python scripts and recurring loops that you can run, and setups that you can do, and code, I guess, which is powerful because you want to create your own apps and your own tools to connect to certain things. So that's why it just gives you way more flexibility and way more future proofing, I guess, if you have Claude Code. Claude.md. Let's talk about Claude.md, because Claude.md is how you connect and make Claude Code just a little bit smarter and not as dumb. All right, so how to create a Claude.md file. Let's show you right now. You can just tell it to create your Claude.md file. This is your Claude.md file in your root directory now. So you open that. Claude.md. Claude.md is basically the instruction file that Claude reads every single time it opens a new session. So it's very powerful because it tells Claude, hey, you should remember to do this, and this. The danger here is people put too much or too little into Claude.md. Too much, it becomes bloated and actually skips a lot of the lines and it doesn't do what you want it to do. So this is my own kind of Claude.md file setup guide that I wrote, and you guys can have it as well if you join the community. It's completely free. So copy and paste into this. So this is in my other actual Claude Code setup, and paste it in there. All right. And then you just change it to what you want. I want Claude Code to run my life, calendars, emails, and make my life easy. So basically a personal assistant. Let's just type basically a personal assistant. All right. So if you want to know what app I'm using to just quickly dictate into it, it's completely free. We made it ourselves. It's called Melon Voice. I'll put it in the description below. So it wants me to have a Claude Primer.md, a Claude Memory.md, and a Claude Memory Learnings CLI.md. It needs to create all these things. I'll just save that. That's my Claude.md. This is the prompt that I'm going to give it. Good. And let's copy and paste that prompt and enter. And now it will build me these memory folders. It's got the Primer MD, the Memory MD, and the Claude CLI Learnings MDs. So basically the Primer MD is kind of like the short-term memory that it will kind of read, and then it will replace it with something else so that it knows what's going on throughout different sessions. There's a Claude Memory.md, which means that it will save more long-term facts about it in there as well. And then the Learnings MD. So anything that I tell it, hey, you should have done this instead, it'll put it in the learnings, and then it'll read that as well before going in. Now, the important thing about the Claude.md file is you should always update the learnings. You should always update these memory files manually every now and then, just to make sure that there's nothing in there that's kind of causing your Claude Code to go haywire. All right, so once I put it in, it will start asking me a bunch of questions. So I'll just tell it, hey, what is my name and what do I do for work? Hey, I'm Daniel, I'm an optometrist, and I'm running my own business in building websites, building automations for businesses, etc. I also run a social media school community where I can teach people how to make Claude Code agents and automations. For question 2, so it's trying to get to know me basically. And then it will just populate that Claude.md file with all these questions. And then you press yes. So once you finish answering all those questions, it says it's built it. So it's built a Claude.md file, session instructions, Primer.md, short-term memory, active projects, etc. Memory.md, which is your long-term memory, facts about me, etc. that it should know. So the more you use it, the better and smarter it becomes. And then the learnings.md, which is basically behavioral rules and corrections that it knows to never do again. And yeah, and that's how you create a smarter and smarter agent bit by bit as time goes on, every time you interact with it. I think we'll cover everything else in the next videos. We're going to cover how to connect your calendar, connect your emails. You automate your emails into folders and draft replies. You can connect different agents, personalities, and talk to them via your Telegram, your phone, so you can talk to your agents anytime. So stay tuned if you want to see how I automate my life, automate my calendar, emails, apps, to-do lists, Google Tasks, Google Reminders. This is the future. You need to get on top of this so that you can do anything in life. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and join the community, my school community, which is free. We'll have all these videos, so you get a notification to know that these videos are up. You also have all the access to free guides. So the guide that I have just then, you can just get that guide for free, and you can learn from each other, talk to each other, and get inspiration from each other as well. There's about 50 people in the community right now. Hopefully we get more and more. See you in the next one.